and now our watch has ended. Game of Thrones season 8 finale, series finale last night, and oh my goodness, I wish I could say it was like an exciting episode, but I'm not mad that it wasn't an exciting episode. I'm gonna get into it. I left feeling very satisfied. It was like eating like a good meal. That's kind of how I felt by the end of the episode. I've seen, actually I would say a lot of fans really enjoying it, and then I see articles saying fans hate it. I don't know what fans are talking about, because I've seen mostly positive reactions to the episode, and everybody kind of leaving like, yeah, I'm surprised, but at the same time, I get it. Like, I feel content, and everybody's kind of where they should be. I'm going to get into my thoughts on the episode. If you agree or not, I don't know. I've done a few Game of Thrones episodes so far, and I would say most of the time people don't agree, but that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, including me. I know, it's weird, right? So if you watched the episode, keep on watching. If you didn't watch the episode yet, stop now. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you probably have already seen all the spoilers, because for Game of Thrones, I don't know why, spoilers don't matter. Everybody just gives all the spoilers out immediately. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about super spoilers. And yeah, let's get into it. Like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment what you thought about the episode below. Let's start talking Game of Thrones series finale. I can't believe it's over. Now, I won't lie, I wasn't a Game of Thrones fan from like the get-go. I started watching it a couple years ago, back in, I caught up by like 2 years ago. So like season 7, I watched live. Before that, I didn't. So I would say I'm more of a newbie fan compared to some people who started from season 1, like right off the bat watching it. But that's still fine. It doesn't negate how much of a fan I am. It doesn't make me less of a fan because I didn't watch it right away. I don't have HBO at home until we started watching Game of Thrones. That's why we got HBO, was to watch Game of Thrones. So it's not like I had really access to the show at first. But anyway, I left very content. I know a lot of people left a little bit less content. They were kind of really disappointed with who ended up on the throne. Now I'm putting throne in quotes because if you saw it, Drogon threw a hissy fit and got really upset when Jon killed Dany, which was a great moment, by the way. And melted the throne, which I thought was a perfect metaphor for the show and kind of the idea of the show, and of Dany wanted to break the wheel. And the story of Game of Thrones is a story of anti-war and it's a very political book. It's based off the War of the Roses, but it's also very political. So for them to metaphorically destroy the system that they had where, you know, it's your birthright, I thought was really interesting by burning the throne. Also, I thought, like, damn, that was a lot of work that went into that throne that they just completely melted like that. I guess it's been around for a long time. I get it. But at the same time, whenever I see movies and things get destroyed, I'm like, oh man, all that time and all that money got put into that, and now it's destroyed. Anyway, I like that scene a lot of Dany and Jon together. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he had it in him. I've never been a Jon fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never been a Jon Snow fan. I always thought he was a little bit wimpy, a little bit annoying, a little bit whiny and complaining, and I didn't really like his character all that much until he died and came back, and that was like a little bit better. He had his moments. I won't lie, he had his moments. Same thing as Sansa until last season I didn't like, but rewatching the show realized, damn, that girl had some great moments. Like, she had some moments. She had those one-liners that were just so good and just cut so deep into other characters that I appreciated it. But anyway, I didn't think he had it in him. When that scene came about where he talked to Tyrion, and I thought, no, he's gonna just go with it. He's just gonna roll with it because that's what Jon does, and he doesn't, you know, that's just who he is. And when they were in the throne room together, and Dany had yet to sit on the throne, which I thought was really awesome, that they never let her sit on the throne. She touched the throne, but she never actually sat on the throne, so she never got her moment. Like, her entire existence has led up to this moment, and she never got it. I was like, oh man, that's awful, but so good. When the stab happened, I thought at first she stabbed him. That's what I thought happened. So I was pleasantly surprised that Jon did it. I, again, didn't think he had it in him, but it needed to be done. There was no way to stop her. She was at the point of no return, and the most awful thing somebody could do is like when a villain is so convinced they're right, which I guess, yes, all villains think they're right, but she was doing it because she thought she was doing good. for the world, not trying to like cause chaos, not like a Joker character who's trying to cause chaos and trying to do that. She thought she was doing what was best for the world, which makes her so dangerous to everybody. So she had to die, unfortunately. I knew Tyrion wasn't going to die. A lot of people were concerned about that, but I know he is George R. R. Martin's favorite character, so I was like, nah, he's safe. The ending, according to all the articles, is exactly the ending George R. R. Martin wanted. Just the way they get there was a little bit different. Like some of the side stories and some of the leading up to it was a little bit different than the books, but the ending is what he wanted. Now, the ending I loved. I like that they had a lot of references. They had like the what was it, the hornet's nest in a whorehouse joke, but they never finish it again. Got Bran of the Blackwater has 1,000,007 titles now and has his few castles. Like, he's very well off now. I love that Brienne is now the head knight of the Kingsguard and finished out Jaime's pages. I love that moment. She took the book. I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna finish his pages, and she did, and I was happy about it. Pod is now, I guess, the king's right-hand man. He's going to help out the king. We're going to talk about that. Tyrion is still the hand. He didn't get away from doing that again. I like that he admitted that he was stupid, because a lot of people's concern with Tyrion the past couple seasons has been like, he's not as smart as he used to be. And he points that out. He's like, yeah, no, I've made a lot of mistakes recently, and I don't deserve to be the hand. So I loved how that turned out as well. So those characters ended where they should be. Now, we'll go with the main characters, really the Starks. The Starks have always been the focus of the show. They have been the nucleus of the show, especially one Stark in particular. And I was surprised by the ending of the character and the ending of the show. But at the same time, I was like, oh yeah, no, like that makes sense. I have said since I started the show, well, they focus way too much on Bran. Like, an obscene amount. Like, season 1, where you have all these like big players involved, they focus on this character who doesn't seem like he's going to amount to anything way too much time. Even above being just the three-eyed raven, they just focus on his character not an annoying amount, but like an obscene amount in season 1. So much of season 1, which you don't really realize because it's not in the forefront. It's like one of those side stories, but that just keeps coming up over and over again about Bran. And then throughout, of course, his whole journey, I guess he knew what was going to happen, because he saw those visions. They never clarify if he could see the future or not, but he saw those visions of the throne room and of the dragon and of certain things that he has seen. So maybe he knew about it. He did say to Tyrion when he brought up, hey, do you want to be king? And he says to him, why do you think I came all this way? So he kind of knew it was going to happen, whether he did for certain or not. I like that they had them vote, all the lords of the land vote. Again, this is breaking the wheel. This is the end of tyranny, the end of a dictatorship in Westeros, the end of the, it's still a monarchy, but it's a kind of democratic monarchy. It's a republic. It's a republic. Yeah. It's a republic monarchy, because a republic is like what we have a democratic republic. Like, people vote, but we vote for people to vote for us. So the people that vote are like the representatives, which is how it's a republic. So I guess it's a republic monarchy, which is kind of weird, but like, it works. I did like how they did that, because it ends the birthright thing, and it ends that kind of that issue, because Bran isn't probably going to have kids ever. So they had to address that issue. But I think Bran, it was the perfect king. And I also thought it was a bit egotistical of George R. R. Martin to do that. Now, hear me out. This is why I say this. When the moment Tyrion said about stories being the most important and being an important weapon, and I was like, oh, well, yep, Bran's going to be king. It then clicked. I was like, wait, that's so egotistical of George R. R. Martin, because he is the one with all the stories. He's the one creating it. He is the writer. He is the storyteller. He is the keeper of all of these stories. So in this way, he is making himself king of Westeros through Bran, if you think about it that way. Maybe I'm crazy, but that was what I took from it immediately. Sansa got to be queen of the North, so she got her power. The North is separate, which was going to happen. There was no way that they were ever going to follow anybody, even Bran at this point, and be part of the Seven Kingdoms, and they're back to being a separate kingdom like they used to be way back in the day. And Arya going off and traveling into the world, I get it. She's not made for this type of life. Like, what was she going to do? Like, she's not just going to go around and just be a master assassin her whole life. She had to find her purpose in the world and to go, Christopher Columbus and see what's west of Westeros. I think it's going to be really interesting. And while they say there's 3 spin-offs and they're most likely prequels, they haven't said that they're definitely prequels. And they haven't said that Maisie Williams is completely done. I mean, she said goodbye to Arya, but you never know. I mean, that'd be a cool spinoff if we saw Arya doing her thing, exploring west of Westeros. I also really enjoyed that Jon got what he wanted. I mean, Jon was never going to be king. And I don't think he would be a good king either. I think I just don't think he would. He had some good leadership qualities while he was in charge of the Night's Watch as Lord Commander, but overall, like, he's not that great. I mean, they bred him to be a leader, but the leader of the Night's Watch, not an entire, 6 kingdoms. So him going back and being now part of the Wildlings, I really love that, because that really is what he wanted to do. He wanted to go north, and he got to be with Ghost again. We got that moment since he didn't pet Ghost on the way out. At least he has Ghost now, and he's going to go with Tormund and the Wildlings and do their thing north of the Wall. And I think that was kind of a trick. They told the Unsullied that, hey, yeah, we're going to send him north of the Wall, and then, send him to the Wall from the Night's Watch, which is pointless at this point right now, because there's nothing north of the Wall besides Wildlings now. But anyway, I think that was just their way to say, hey, Jon, like, you can have the life you wanted. You deserved it. You've earned it. You've done a lot. I don't mind that Grey Worm didn't die. I love the point that he's going to, was it Noth, where Missandei's from, and he's going to protect them. I really love that. I love bringing the book, Song of Ice and Fire, into it, and that Sam wasn't the writer, but he did change the title of it. So I think everything came full circle, and I was very satisfied with the ending. I don't know. I wasn't expecting a huge battle for the end, or this big, huge, dramatic end to the show. It's a series finale. They never are. They're never like, oh my God, for the series finale. You got to wrap it all up. You got to close out the stories. And I was satisfied with it. I was very happy where everybody ended up. I was shocked, but I was happy where everybody ended up. I wasn't mad that we didn't go into, Bran working and getting trapped somewhere, or going back in time, or the Night King. Like, I was okay with that. I wasn't really in for that for the show. I was kind of into it for the throne and to see what would happen politically wise for Westeros, since this is a political commentary, which is the thing that George R.R. Martin tried to balance in the writing of these books. Yes, he wanted to be fantasy because he loves Lord of the Rings, but it's also a political commentary. So I think he balanced it out well when it comes to especially the series finale, which, according, again, is the ending that George R.R. Martin wanted. The characters that were his favorites still stayed alive, which I wasn't shocked by. I think everybody who died needed to die. And I think everybody who lived, I'm not mad that they lived. I'm not mad that they didn't kill off more people. I was like, all right, cool. You know what? We can have a happy ending. Apparently, George R.R. Martin isn't as cynical as we all thought he was. I thought more people were going to die because I thought he was very cynical and didn't want any happy endings. But some people did get their happy ending, and I was very, very content with that. What did you think of the series finale of Game of Thrones? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you feel satisfied? Did you feel like you got kind of cheated out and this whole season was just a loss? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I guess I got to find a new show to talk about. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just binge watched The Bodyguard in one night. After Game of Thrones, I just watched The Bodyguard. I was up to 4:30. But anyway, other than that, I got nothing else. I don't know. I got to find a new show. Ugh, God, I hate finding a new show. What show should I start? Actually, comment that down below. What show should I start watching? And maybe, argue with you about my opinions on the show. Because, I don't really agree with a lot of people for a lot of things. It's just my nature. All right, that's it. Enjoy rewatching Game of Thrones. I can't wait to watch the documentary that they're going to put out, and I'm looking forward to all of these spin-offs.